My question will be pretty off topic. In recent years, I've noticed that youngsters in Hong Kong are getting more and more energetic in political agendas. And they're not even only voicing, now they're putting their voice into actions. And 2 or 3 years ago, it's very easy for me to identify civic party from those, some of them pretty aggressive, like those Leong Democrats. But then, in the last 2 years, especially after May 16th, the de facto referendum issue, I noticed that even more and more parties are popping out. And then, it seems to me that more of them are having, instead of having some small rogue group, these people are getting, they are highly educated, they can think, they're kind of calm, they can communicate, and they're actually willing to communicate with the government. And more important, it seems like after a year, these people have certain persistence. I'm starting to get a little confused in how to identify civic party from some of these parties, especially one of them called People Power. So, out of Hong Kong, there are lots of foreign cities that we will have a lot of youngsters that like to go back. And if these youngsters, they are more and more willing and to spend more of their time into political agendas in Hong Kong, and how can they, can you provide some suggestion or like encouragements? How can they choose the party so that they can be loyal to and devote their time into? Because to me, it's going into helping or eventually getting involved in a political party. It's not just oh, I go to badminton and then 2 months later I don't like it, I'll try soccer. And then it will be more to your heart. So I wonder if you can provide some suggestions.
Well, the short answer is choose the civic party. But since Dennis is much younger than I am, perhaps I would ask Dennis.
You're young.
Perhaps I would ask Dennis to have a first go at your question.
Yeah, actually, I'm happy that Dennis' speech is as delightful as Alan's one.
I think this is more delightful. Speaking from personal experience, I joined the Civic Party when it was founded. The reason why I joined the Civic Party is because the values that they stand for. Rule of law, reason. When we take a policy position, we take a considered view. Whether you agree with it or not is another question, but we try to take a considered view on every policy issue. We don't go negative attack on our pan-democratic friends, even though at certain times we disagree on matters of strategy or on other issues, on tactics. But as long as they stay true to the democratic goal, we're not going to attack them, and there's no point. And we don't subscribe to, I can say this directly, we do not subscribe to people's power way of attacking our democratic allies, because that is not conducive to achieve. Do not lose sight of the goal because of your tactics or strategy. I think that's what I believe in. If you are a young person who just graduated from the UT or UBC and are thinking about going back to Hong Kong, I would fully encourage you to do that. There are a lot of opportunities there. And if you are interested in politics or public affairs, or you want to do something to further the democratic cause, we need you to come back. Bring your experience, bring what you've learned from these great institutions in Canada, and bring them back to Hong Kong and make use of them and join the Civic Party.
Now, if I may just add just a couple of points. I, of course, take this as a very serious question. I know you are serious. Now, in your question, you made reference to the People's Power. The People's Power is not a political party. It doesn't have a complete policy, a platform consisting of policies on all spheres of life in Hong Kong. It is rather an action group. It is an action group that is set up for a specific purpose. You need no reminder what that purpose is. So you would not consider it as a political party. Now, talking about confusion, I beg to differ. Do you look at me as if I resemble the Honorable Long Hair? Do I look like Long Hair? Do I look like Wang Yukman? Do I look like Chen Wei-yin, Albert Chan? Of course not. And I even dare to ask you this question. Do I look like Albert Ho of the Democratic Party? So I don't think young people in Hong Kong will really have the difficulty, as you describe it, in telling the difference between different political organizations. But I suppose what you were driving at was that, well, if the Civic Party participated in the 5-district referendum, that was supposed to be radical, and if that is radical, how can you say you are different from the League of Social Democrats? But think more deeply. Read more into the reason why we participated in the 5-district referendum. You will know the answer. I think if I go on more deeply to answer this question, it will bore those in the audience who do not know that much or as much as the questioner about Hong Kong. So I'm happy to engage you after the open session has concluded. Thank you very much.